Um, there'll be some changes. I just got a bunch of changes for tomorrow. Make sure you check Arbiter, especially at West Brunswick. I don't know if you've heard the tragedy they had down at in Waterway this weekend. They lost one of their football players.
Mike, I hit the wrong button. You got to unmute yourself. I apologize.
Okay. As I was saying, West Brunswick's going to make some changes in their schedules due to a loss of one of their athletes down Intercoastal Waterway this weekend, and I expect Topsail to be calling soon because they lost a student to an automobile accident on Saturday night, I believe. So make sure you check Arbiter daily. Make sure you keep up with all the changes. I don't know if you get a text message or the emails when we do have changes, but just on the safe side, check it every day. Also, check your game times. If there's been a change, I try to let you know as soon as I can. I know we had an issue the other night. Arbiter was showing 6 on my end, but on the other end, y'all's end was showing 7, and the crew showed up a few minutes late, but AD never called me, and I'll touch base on that in just a minute. All right. Last night I sent out the email, or this morning, I don't even know when it was. If you can unblock your Tuesdays and Fridays, everybody's wanting to play on Tuesdays and Fridays. And I've tried to get them away from that. We made some changes today, some JV games. We put them on Wednesday, Thursday to help us out. But all varsity teams are trying to play on Tuesday, Friday. They're trying to get those 14 games in, especially for their tournament seedings or playoff seedings. Max Preps has really ruined us in trying to play baseball. I think they're part of the problem. But they're going to get their 14 games in. So make sure we get there and get them in. Also, last night I put on the arrival time. Guys, we recommend 45 minutes at least. 30 minutes is the minimum. Please check in with the AD and or the head coach or whoever who's the game administrator for that day, because it's very disheartening to get about 6 or 8 phone calls around 5 minutes to 4 or 10 minutes to 4 trying to find your umpires. Where are they? And this has gone from Richmond County on back to the Wilmington area. People have called wanting to know where their umpires are. Check in with them, please.
Mike,
yeah.
Sorry to beat you, but you have one like Lumberton. They don't have anyone up there for contact.
And you walk down to the head coach and tell him you're there. Ever who's on that field hitting fungos, go tell him you're there. Somebody has got to know we're on site. And I'll talk to Deese tomorrow at 8. He's in U8. He's interim AD. He's also a football coach, so he's trying, and I don't throw off on football coaches, but he's trying to do a lot of things, and he's learning on the fly. So walk down in the dugout or go tell somebody when you go through the gate or when you get down there parked. Y'all still parking in the big tree down there at Lumberton?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just walk over there and tell them you're there, wave at somebody and say, look, tell them the umpires are here. But also text me when both of you are on site. That relieves my little pressure a little bit. And, of course, when AD calls and said, I don't know where they are, and I can tell him right where you're sitting. I can tell him where you are. They're on site. We're doing a good job on our game reports after the games. I appreciate that. Like I told you, I do not read the newspapers. This is how I keep up with who's winning what and the matchups for the following week. Now, schedules have been slow coming out. They're coming out weekly right now, and that's because of all the changes. Purnell Sweat, JV team, just went into COVID protocol this morning. So they're done for 2 weeks. So that is why I'm a little hesitant on making it 2 or 3 weeks out, because games are changing left and right, and I have to move people around. It's like playing chess sometimes. But you're doing a good job on your game reports. I do appreciate that. Another thing is biting us in the butt a little bit, guys, and I try to work with Ernie all I can, and also Billy Seabrook. I work with him quite a bit. But these recreation games, guys, if they're going to take precedence over your high school JV games, please let me know very quickly. And honestly, I'll have to remove you from our stuff, because, guys, we need to prioritize what we're doing. I know you want to work all the games you can, and I do appreciate that, getting all the work in. But we need to make sure we got these high school and JV games covered. So please work with me on that. And Ernie and I are trying to work with you and trying to keep you in a localized place. I think some things happened tonight. Somebody got a game an hour away from where he was, but they probably started a little bit late. From here on out, at 10 minutes to start time, you should be standing on home plate. At 10 minutes to start time, you should be standing on home plate. If they're taking fungos or anything, tell a coach, you got 10 minutes or 5 minutes, we're going to start, or 10 minutes, we're going to start this baseball game. And I reiterated that to all the coaches and ADs this morning in an email. So they know we're going to try our best to start on time. Now, the JV varsity doubleheaders, because, they're going to determine the start time as soon as that JV game's over. Before you walk off the field, ask the coach, do you have a start time? And hopefully they'll give you one, and then we can start. We can be back at the plate 10 minutes beforehand. Or split doubleheaders like that, I can probably let you come back to the plate around 5 minutes beforehand because you already know the ground rules and everything. Coach just got to give you lineup cards. But we need to start these games on time. I've got a couple of ADs. They were upset because we're not starting on time. And I took the brunt in for it, but that's fine. We'll deal with it. The I-Black, I sent out the email last week. I got a call from the North Carolina High School Athletic Association gentleman and had my rear end chewed, one side and up, down the other. We're allowing I-Black to be on the face. If you hadn't seen the picture, go to Performance of the Week on the North Carolina High School Athletic website. You'll see the young man. Now, the picture was taken when they played at East Carteret. I do not handle, or none of you go to the umpire at East Carteret. So that's going to take some of the heat off of us, and I spoke to that supervisor, that regional supervisor, and he's supposed to take care of it. But the I-Black and one little streak under the eyes, that's all they can have. So let's make sure. Yeah.
This is Keith at West Bladen. Whoever's going back, me and Mitch covered it last Tuesday with them. So when you go to, well, matter of fact, I had them tomorrow night. That's me. I had them tomorrow night. So I'll make sure it's corrected at West Bladen. So okay. I deal with it tomorrow.
Most of the ADs know what's going on and they know the rules. So we'll do our best to it. Remember, you've heard this before. What you allow, you promote. Guys, if you have to eject them, you can ask Justin Gray. He got 3 the other night, and I backed him 100%. We'll listen to the story, you listen to your details of it, and whatever you decide, if it's righteous, we'll go with it. And, hey, they got a 2-game suspension. All 3 players did. They got to take that course. I got one team, one AD. He's making his whole coaching staff take the sportsmanship course. He's actually going to take it with him. But do what you have to do. Warn them, restrict them, get rid of them. I don't care. Dump them. What you allow, you promote. So let's take care of business. I'm not saying go out tomorrow and get that right shoulder cocked, but just be ready to take care of business. Shut it down, guys, as soon as we can. We had one incident on Friday night, and I know some of y'all do softball, but this cheerleading mess out of the dugout has got to stop. Shut it down. Shut it down. I wish they'd do it in softball, but, whatever. Another important date, October 1, 2, and 3, especially 2 and 3. We've set up our camp. Our workshops are in service, however you want to say it, down at UNC Wilmington. They've agreed to host us. You guys that work football, I know you'll be busy on the 1st, but the 2nd and 3rd we'll be at UNC Wilmington. They've got the facilities to house us, or not house us sleeping wise, but they got place for us to go in, batting cages, indoor facilities and stuff. So we're going to work with them, and they're going to help us quite a bit. But I'll give you more on that as we go. But I want you to go ahead and put that on your calendar. Okay, I'm going to open up for questions. Real quick, before I do that, get in your rule book, guys. We've had some timing plays the last few weeks that have kind of bit us in the butt. Get up on your timing plays. And if you got problems with them, let me know, and I'll help you walk you through it. The easy way to remember, if the last out occurs at first, I know I got 2 pro guys on here. They're going to laugh when I say this. Anything happens at first, nobody can score. Nothing else can happen. But get in that rule book and let's study up on our timing plays and our appeal plays. Okay, I'm going to open it up real quick for questions before we get off here. Anybody? Okay, y'all know it all. We got 2 special guests on here tonight. Macon's on here, also with his partner, his brother from another mother, is Z. I'm going to let them say a few things if they'd like to.
Yeah, so thanks, Mike. Thanks for hosting us here again. And just to kind of start off, let me start off by introducing my partner. And like you said, he's really turned into my brother in just a very few short days. So it's a pleasure getting to ride around with him a lot, and we get the opportunity to work some good baseball. But from a personal standpoint, thanks to everybody again who's reached out and showed support for me and Z as well. Since we're accruing one, so we appreciate the support very, very much. And feel free at any time. Most everybody I think has my phone number, and Z and I will be together all the time as well. Feel free to reach out to us anytime for any questions that you may have, or if we're in the area, we will be in Fayetteville a couple of times, in Myrtle Beach. Please feel free to come and watch us, and maybe we can show you how it's supposed to be done. But do you have to say?
No, thank you for here, but it's a real treat to travel around and meet various people. I'm really honored to meet all of you. And again, if you have anything, if you have any troubles, whatsoever, we're here for you. It's what we do right now. It's breathing baseball. So I think we might be able to talk baseball, and we enjoy it quite a bit. So feel free to add us, add me on Facebook, whatever. Text me through Macon, and we'll have a dinner, lunch, whatever, and we'll talk baseball because that's what we enjoy most.
Right. So yeah, like I said, when we're in the Fayetteville area, please feel free to come out and talk with us after the game, and if there's anything that you happen to see during the game or whatnot, feel free to reach out, and we'd be more than happy to talk about it. Because like Z said, we're living the dream right now, for lack of a better term, not to sound too cliche, but, please feel free at any time to reach out, and we'd be more than happy to help give back.
You still there?
That's about it. Mike, thanks again for hosting again. Thanks. Yep.
All right. Z, please take him to Verizon tomorrow and get him a new phone. That voicemail works on it. Wow.
He's too busy. He needs a secretary. We're working on it. We're getting him a pretty secretary here in Virginia, because his phone rings all the time. It's not nagging me, but it's it's a lot. It's lot of friends, a lot of people, and it's bringing all the time. We have to work on that.
I got you, guys. And
can't reach him. Stay on the line. You're a
Take a number.
Take a number. Yeah, he'll be with you shortly.
Guys, it's a pleasure to go watch them work, and I pick their brain. I ask them questions all the time, and it's vice versa. So we're always learning. It. You don't know it all. Things happen, plays happen. It's fun to watch people work and go pick their brain a little bit and see why you do this and what do you think about this, and go forth. And they're here for us. I do appreciate them. Like I said, anytime you want a question, ask. You don't want to ask me, ask them. All right, feel free to do so. Just don't bombard them for tickets. Okay, don't put them in that predicament too much. All right, any plays that are bothering anybody? Any rulings or anything? Anybody want to talk about anything real quick? All right.
I'll ask if nobody else will.
All right, go ahead.
So I got to research it tonight, but play at the plate. If the catchers, from my understanding is if the catcher sets up in front of the plate and the ball carries him into the runner, that as long as the runner initially had access to the plate, then that is perfectly fine.
Macon, you want to ask that? You had that play a few weeks ago.
Yeah, so you know, Z and I are talking here. If we're talking like professional rules,
If we're talking
Yeah,
official rules of baseball, the determination is whether he's either in possession of the ball or in the act of fielding the ball, he's okay to stand anywhere.
Right.
And possession of the ball, that's quite clear. That's when he actually has it in his paws. The act of fielding, that's a judgment thing. If the ball is near enough and in direction of the catcher at the time, the runners around the home plate area, he's still entitled to hold that spot. Okay, and if we have something, if the runner collides with him, it's a mere collision. Okay, so let's go with two clear scenarios, and the thing in between is a gray area. Clear scenario. We have a catcher that's blocking the pathway of the runner without, the ball is in the outfield. Okay, that is an obstruction. Okay, if we have, on the other hand, a catcher with the possession of the ball, he's in the pathway of the runner. He can be there. Okay, he can be there. He can be anywhere. Okay, the gray area, and that's when our judgment comes handy, is whether he is in the act of fielding the ball. If the answer is yes, then okay, he can be there. If the answer is no, he's blocking the pathway of the runner and he goes to jail. Does that answer the question?
John, you good with that?
Yep.
I think the play you're talking about, and I think it happened to you the other night. If the ball and the player and everybody get there at the same time, we got nothing. It's just one of those.
Yeah. So the direction, the bottom line is, unless you're absolutely 100% sure that there is the fielder is not in the position of being there, you don't call it. Okay, they don't want us to call it because most of the time we think it is something, but most of the time it's just a mere collision because of happenstance, because of the line of the throw. Because again, if the catcher has to go in the pathway of the runner while receiving the throw, and there is an absolute train wreck, still nothing. It's still a collision. It's still what we've been seeing before. There is a big pile of bodies, and we want to call something, but not necessarily. Collision is still there, and it's just nothing.
Goes back to judgment sometimes.
Did I steal
Anybody else?
no, that's perfect. That's perfect. I second that.
Anybody else? Anybody else want to pick their brain or my brain? Let's go. Your daddy just left, Macon. All right, anybody else? All right, our next.
If you want the Southern translation into more acceptable accent, Megan's ready to do that. He just asked me the other day whether he's got an accent. I said, yeah, well, let's bet.
That's all right. You'll learn redneck for long. You'll be all right.
Yeah, I'm trying. I've got my notebook's always open and just trying, learn new words every day.
I got you. All right, guys, our next meeting will be on the 24th on a Monday, 9 o'clock. It'll be short and sweet, just like this one. If you ain't got any questions, guys, good luck the rest of the week. Once again, keep your eyes on Arbiter and your emails, and make sure we're on the same page. Got you? See you guys.
All right.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thanks, guys.
The numbers I don't have is 91061, 91926.